I left the house at 4 o'clock with coffee in a thermos cup. Had 2 rides in the back seat and one good reason to shut up. The wind was already talking by the time I hit South Park. Said, boy, you better anchor down or I'll put you in the dark. I bought some worms at the marina. I asked the man what they'd been biting. He said trout are good by North Shore, but the pike have been exciting. So I nodded like I knew things, like a man with many plans. Then I tied on the wrong rapala with my cold and useless hands. I fish 11 Mile, where the wind don't ever smile, where the trout come in like silver, then they leave you for a while. I fish 11 Mile, got a sunburn and a file full of pictures of the ones I lost and one fish worth the drive. There's a guy down at Sucker Cove catching rainbows off the bottom with a lawn chair and a sandwich like the Lord himself had taught him. I was casting toward the channel, trying to look like I had rhythm, but my spoon came back with lake grass and a little bit of wisdom. There were kokanee out deeper, pink and orange in the light, and some boat guy with a downrigger was quietly doing right. I said, must be nice to own things that make fish show up on screens. Then I ate a bag of jerky and pretended I had dreams. I fish 11 Mile, where the wind don't ever smile, where the trout come in like silver, then they leave you for a while. I fish 11 Mile, got a sunburn and a file full of pictures of the ones I lost and one fish worth the drive. Down by Witcher's Cove I saw it, a big old northern in the weeds. Looked like someone crossed a shovel with a bad idea in teeth. I threw a lure the size of breakfast, let it pause and twitch and dive. That pike just stared right through me like he knew I worked for life. Then he turned off toward the shadows like a rumor made of bone, and I stood there feeling lucky just to be ignored alone. There's no live minnows in my bucket, there's no genius in my style, just a man and half a sandwich and a lake called 11 Mile. I fish 11 Mile, where the wind don't ever smile, where the trout come in like silver, then they leave you for a while. I fish 11 Mile, got a sunburn and a file full of pictures of the ones I lost and one fish worth the drive. Albert pointed carp in the shallows, tailing like ghosts in the mud. Dream stream boys were whispering about browns and kokanee blood. Ice huts in the winter, boats in the spring. Everybody's got a method, nobody knows a thing. The ranger says, how'd you do? I say, I did all right, which is fisherman for nothing, but I had a real good time. By sundown I had one rainbow, 16 inches, maybe less, but I held him like a trophy, and I thanked him for the test. Then I let him slip back slowly, watched him vanish in the gold. Felt the whole damn reservoir get quiet in my soul. The wind laid down a minute like it finally had enough, and the mountains turned to purple and the coffee tasted rough. I drove home smelling fishy with my ego reconciled, a poor man rich in weather from a day at 11 Mile. I fish 11 Mile, where the wind don't ever smile, where a man can lose his patience and still come home reconciled. I fish 11 Mile, yeah, I'll be back in a while, for the trout, the pike, with the kokanee, and that cold South Park sky. I didn't catch my limit, but I didn't lose my mind. And brother, that's a keeper at 11 Mile.